You are my linen garment I put on. Lord, you are my linen garment I put on, while I minister to in the inner court. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat. Lord, you are my linen garment I put on. Lord, you are my linen garment I put on, while I minister to you in the inner court. Oh, your garments smell of earth and aloe, of acacia. Oh, your garments smell of myrrh and aloe, of acacia, as I minister to you in the inner court.
Well, hello.
Hello, Linenites.
Linenites. Guess what? Today it is time for an inside look at the Linen Railroad. Yes. Many of you have no idea what we're talking about, which is perfect. You've been set up, truly. It's time for you to take a dive, or maybe take a ride. A ride.
All aboard.
Take a ride on the Linen Railroad. We won't be singing any more songs for you. We leave that to the other guy who does the intro every single time you see these videos. So today, though, we are going to tell you just some marvelous things like how to hunt linen good and properly. Some of you have been riding the struggle bus instead of the Linen Railroad. That ends today. We're going to help you. Second thing, we're going to cover basically what is the Linen Railroad.
Yes.
What is it and why is it taking place? And how do we do it?
How do you get in connection with it?
How do you become a stopping point? How do you become a stop point? What is it? Wait, what are they called? A train station? I don't know. Some kind of place where you stop at on the Linen Railroad.
Station.
A destination.
A station.
A destination station. How do you become a station for the Linen Railroad?
Yes.
Here's how. Check this out. We actually have a Facebook group.
Yes.
Which is called Becoming a Linenite. So that's pretty much fundamentals.
Yes.
This is where much of this activity takes place. And a secret group inside there, which is so totally public to anybody that would ask for an invite or ask to be able to join it, I guess. So it's really not that secret or clandestine. But it's called Buy, Sale, Trade, or Donate, Becoming a Linenite group. That's where a lot of the Linen Railroad, the secret underground railroad, takes place.
Yes.
Now, we're just going to dive right in. So we hope you guys are ready. Chelsea was in the red zone today.
Oh, yeah.
Chelsea was
I was working on the railroad.
Well, Chelsea's been working hard on the Linen Railroad.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I don't know if that's even how it
There's
goes.
been quite a few midnight interruptions. The baby's waking things up, but look at all this. The Linen Railroad. Oh yeah. The babies are up. It's
That
late
little
at night.
one eating blueberries.
Eating blueberries. This one says, I'd like to be up and have a fresh picked blueberry snack. Are you having fun on the Linen Railroad, Juju?
I really was.
She was. This is, by the way, if you guys didn't know this, most of this activity takes place, we volunteer full-time 40 hours a week on farms.
Well, today, we're starting our quest of planting basically 40,000 onions. So, they come in little rubber band bunches. We actually take them out of the bunches, let them get opened up here to breathe. So let them start breathing. We come and put them in our little phytonutrients splash here. And then we load them into our little buckets here. You can tell these are all custom, one-of-a-kind made, hand-carrying tools. Really, just brilliant engineering. Perfectly functional though, like exactly what you need right there.
And then we do ministry, all the rest of this stuff. We volunteer all the rest of our time.
Yes.
Trying to raise our children. Then we volunteer the rest of our other time trying to do the railroad. And or any other ministry
And
things
videos,
that we're doing. And video editing.
posts,
So we don't
and-
sleep too often. But when we do, we sleep on linen sheets. So that's fundamentals. You're going to need those.
It
Now,
helps.
Chelsea,
Yes.
how do we hunt linen?
How do we hunt linen? Okay, first and foremost, a majority of the linen that we acquire for the Linen Railroad is used. And how we get that is usually secondhand stores, thrift stores. That's definitely how we acquire the linen. Hi, y'all. I'm a little fatigued. I just rummaged through the bins at the Goodwill by myself without my husband and with 2 children. And I am beat. However, I found some incredible linen finds. I found vintage linens. Look at these little like doilies and embroidery things. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I found this, like what even? Like I've never seen something so beautiful. It's Italian linen. Isn't it so gorgeous? Like, it looks like something from Anthropology. You know that really expensive store? Incredible.
We've only ever seen it through the windows.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. We got some linen shorts. We got linen pants. We got a man's shirt, which men's shirts are hard to come by. Look what it says, pure linen. Look at this gem. Isn't that beautiful? I just have never seen such a beautiful linen print. I found a set of curtains that are 100% linen.
It's for quite a while.
And I found another giant curtain. It's 50% rayon, 50% linen, and it could be a twin sheet on a bed. And then some pants.
Luxurious linen.
All of that linen, you guys. $13 for all of it. Like, where are we right now? This is the craziest place. I've never found linen like this. I've never found linen like this in such quantities for such a cheap price. Like, I literally feel like any one of these things would cost more, one of these things would have cost more than $13. And I got all of it for $13. We have found, I'm going to share with you guys one of the best kept secrets in the United States.
Pause. Before you share our super sweet secret, maybe we should tell you what the Linen Railroad is.
Okay.
Then you can have the
Okay.
goods.
Oh, carrot.
Then
Do
you'll
see
be
what
in.
he
Do you
did
see
there?
that? Take it back. Speaking of which, giant teeth. Prepare yourself. We're about to film 2 videos because we're delirious and the children are sleeping, so we're going to go for it.
We'll do our best.
Okay, you ready? The Linen Railroad. Here is our goal. To clothe the naked. Period. That's basically it, you guys. Y'all be naked out there. Like, for real. You're all naked. If you don't know what we're
Wearing
talking
them
about,
unnatural fibers.
stealing
from your health.
they're literally sucking the life right out of you. You guys ever learn about parasites? They're in you right now. You should eat things that eat them, like diatomaceous earth. Check it out. Papaya seeds. Eat it all. It's so good for you. Eat dirt. The good dirt.
Or
Sorry,
as
I'm getting
Noelle
distracted.
says, cabbage, fermented cabbage water.
That's a hard sell.
Juice.
I like you guys out there. You're
think that's a
saucy.
parasite
I think this
place.
is why the Jamans just crush life out there. Maybe it's their sauerkrauts. Anyways, we're distracted.
Okay, sorry.
Shocker. We want to clothe the naked. Okay?
Yes.
We want people to be able to be enjoying the wonderful fabrics that the Father has entrusted to his people. Because in the book of Hosea, he took those fabrics away from us because we plugged our ears when he talked to us. Like he talked to us, he gave us instructions. We said, we'll do our own thing now. No, thank you. So he said, fine, you go be with the other Elohim. You can have them as your gods, and they're going to take from you everything and leave you naked, starving, and without water. So we live in a society that has systematically destroyed our food, our water, our clothing, and the air we breathe. We believe that as we return to the Father, he will give back to us these things. We believe that because it's what he said in his scriptures. And so as we regard him, he will give us the treasures of the earth. Foundational to that, linen, garments. He will clothe us. He promises us if we serve him, he will clothe us, he will feed us, he will water us, and he will shelter us. So that is our desire to do that. The issue we run into, a couple of challenges as we go about doing that. Big one, most people don't have linen. It's a problem. Most people...
For a couple reasons. Many reasons, maybe.
Most of the time, why is it that people don't have linen? Or natural fibers. Silk, cashmere, merino wool. These are our favorites. These are our big ones.
The reason people might not have these natural fibers is that they either don't know how to hunt them, they don't know where to find them, they try to look for them, but then they can't find their sizes, or they can't afford it because these natural fibers, it's like organic food, you guys. They jack the price way, way, way up so that you have to pay a hefty price to eat the better food. It's the same thing with the clothing, you guys. They've done it to the clothing too. They're like, oh, you want to wear the fine linen? You want to wear the nice clothing? Well, you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. And that is just brutal. That's brutal, you guys. And we have found, though, that if you find it used, it is gently used, a lot of it.
Most of the time.
And honestly, linen is one of those things, you guys. It's such an amazing fiber that the more you wear it, the better it gets. It only gets better with time. Only gets better with time.
Just like people, they can age better. Let your wrinkles glow. You need your wrinkles. You earned every one of them.
Right.
Now.
And gray hairs.
No, real talk.
No, for real.
For real. This is how you murder vanity. Anyways. Chelsea just said something that's so incredibly beautiful. The more you use the linen, the better it gets. And that's amazing. And this is why when we find it used, now, we don't only find it gently used. Sometimes we straight up find it with tags still on it, and that's marvelous.
Or it's crisp and pressed like it just was dry cleaned and it's
because it's still got the tags from the dry cleaner on it. It's
beautiful.
Amazing. It's amazing because you guys got to understand, there's this other group of people out there called the Nephilim. Just kidding. We're not going down there. There's these other things out there called people who've regarded natural fibers since the beginning, and they never got away from it, you know? They just had the capacity to maintain this by having servants who ironed their linen. Because if you want to maintain the linen the best, word on the street is you should iron it while it's damp. We haven't done that because, reference the no time factor. This is why the servant class used to literally do this. I met a woman at a conference who her full-time job was ironing linen, real linen, for a very wealthy family. Wow. That's all she did, all the time. And then I spoke at a conference all about linen. She was like, I do that all the time. It's the best. You guys got to understand, people that know what's best for their bodies put linen upon themselves, or wool, cashmere.
And in their house, and in their bedding, and
everywhere.
In their napkins.
It is what the Father wants his people to be wearing. It's beautiful because he believes you are worthy of kings and priests. You are marvelous people, and we want you to be treated with the regal fabrics of the earth. I love using that word. Anyways, we have found the best places to hunt it. And now it's going to take you guys relocating yourselves. Maybe. Chelsea didn't know that was coming. Okay, let me just tell you a real quick synopsis of the rat race of the world, the way the world was designed. Here's how it works. You have different socio-economic areas within a city. And this is important, and it requires you to use the skill and the gift of observation, paying attention to things, not just looking at them. When you drive around your town, city, biggest city nearby, When you drive around, you'll notice there's different socio-economic zones.
You
Okay?
can feel it when you drive.
You can
through.
always tell, and you can tell what kind of big chain stores are catering
It's
to
not a
that.
bad thing, but
Like
can
you
tell.
know where Costco always plants themselves. It's always in the mid to upper middle class part of the town. Sometimes the mid to lower, but it's almost always that upper area. Okay, you'll notice certain types of stores and chains are always in certain parts of town, and then other ones are in a totally different part of town. With thrift stores and secondhand used stores, Goodwills, Arcs, any of the just more local mom and pop thrift stores, they tend to plant themselves where donations can come in out of a middle to upper middle class area if possible, because they tend to be able to have access to higher quality fabrics and clothing coming in or donations coming in. But a lot of those places, that is maybe where they'll plant a store. Other places then have such an excess from that, they have a secondary store that they open up in the lower, middle to lower income class portion of the town. This is where the greatest treasure we have ever found has been discovered. Do you want to tell them now? The bins.
Bins!
Bro, check out the bins.
The bins. You guys will hear us sometimes talking about the bins, referring to the bins. Well, it's because it is a place where there are large bins of random goodness that you get to rifle through, and it is like the biggest treasure hunt ever. And you're digging through there and you never know what you're going to find. There are huge bins full of clothes and huge bins full of shoes and huge bins full of just all kinds of mixed random goods. These bins, you guys, the goods that are in these bins are they come from the outer Goodwills, okay?
Predominantly Goodwills. There's other
yeah.
stores that have this, but we're talking mostly Goodwills.
Goodwills. After an item has been in a Goodwill for, I think they said about a month, if it has not sold, they pull the plug on all these items. They load up a truck. Those trucks go and deliver themselves and all of these goods to the bins.
Outlet
The
store.
Goodwill outlet store, okay? They deliver this, and that's where all this stuff is coming in. And guys, it is exciting. It is one of the most exciting things. If you have not tried a Goodwill outlet store, we encourage you, just go in there. It is a hoot, you guys. It's a hoot. And they cycle out the bins. The bins they're big, huge blue bins, and they're long. They're not super deep, but they're piled high, and you really have to dig through them. You have to, put up your sleeves and get in there. And sometimes the bins are dusty, okay? Sometimes
That's a nice
it's
way of
dusty.
saying it.
Sometimes they're stinky. Sometimes
They're wet.
they're moist. And that's the thrill of it. You don't ever know what you're going to be diving in.
It's all about sifting.
Sometimes there's hangers in there. Sometimes you'll pull out a cutting board and you were looking at clothes and you're like, all right, well, I didn't expect that to be in there, but you're just digging. And you know what is the best part is that there is linen. That one. Crate and barrel.
I found this on a drive-by linening.
Snatching. Snatch it right out.
Snatched it right out of the flames.
Wow. And cashmere.
Cashmere.
And silk galore. And it's just waiting to be found because it's been disregarded, you guys. We watch so many people, dozens and dozens and dozens of people who will be in there the same time we are.
Full time.
They're rifling through the
Full-timers.
bins with us, and they're literally tossing stuff over to me, and I'm like, oh, that's linen. Oh,
It floats to the
thank you.
surface,
Oh,
just
that's
like
linen.
gold.
It does, you guys. It's amazing. And it's like they literally are rifling and flinging it around, and it's like it comes right over to us, and it's like they don't even know. They don't even know. We're like, do you know that's a Tommy Bahama like $100 shirt right there that you just like threw because you didn't know what it was and you didn't regard it as treasure? But we saw it and we snatched it up because we're like,
Snatched it from
this
the
is gonna
flames.
fit somebody. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna clothe the remnant. And that's where we acquire a lot of the linen. All right. How much?
$30.47. Check this out.
For an entire...
Linen comforter.
Excuse me, Naomi.
Linen comforter? Yep. Linen curtains?
It's okay,
Yep.
Naomi.
Don't worry, we found linen tablecloths, the big kind, the heavyweight kind. Not to mention dresses, shirts,
All 100%.
pants, 100%, y'all. Everything you're looking at, except for the spatula. Shocker. Even hand-embroidered beautiful things. Look at this. Come on. It's a linen highway.
So, finding an outlet store is kind of the dream, but honestly,
They're not everywhere, and that's
we
what's
go to a
tricky.
lot of places where they don't have those, and that's okay.
Or sometimes they have them, but they're just not very good. We went to the thrift store yesterday and had one of the best linen hauls for vintage linens. And I want to show you some of the vintage linens I found because I'm really excited about it. Vintage linen, well, if you know Nathan and I at all, we love antiques so much. We love to go to antique stores. We're always finding treasures in there. Closed!
No. It's okay. We wouldn't have entered anyway.
Mask to be worn by not
Capitulators. Not Linenites. Linenites are brave and courageous. And we throw caution to the wind by living dangerously and wearing priestly garments.
However, we went to some of the antique stores to look for linen, and it's expensive at the antique stores. A towel like this, it might be like $12 or something like that at the antique store. So we got it for less than $1.50, let's just say that, because I know this doesn't weigh a pound, and it's $1.50 by the pound at the bulk Goodwill. So if there's a bulk Goodwill near you, you need to find it and go hunting.
But sometimes you can find, the reason we're telling you about the socio-economic thrift storing is
This
because
is good to know.
Because if you can identify that thrift store in your place of whatever, I don't care if you guys got to drive 6 hours to find this stuff. You talk to a Canadian and you want to talk about a short drive, less than like 12 to 24 hours is considered a short drive. So buck up, America, because the Canadians are kicking our teeth in with their wonderful driving capacity. Manitobans. Gosh, you guys are savage. We love you. All of you internationalites who really know how to drive. Hats off to ya. Now, find the highest socioeconomic store that's a secondhand store you can get to. That tends to have the best quality of garments in your region. Or if they have a reject pile from that store, that's what you want to feed on. Okay, it's the difference between Abram, like Abraham from the scriptures. He lived outside of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot, his nephew, lived inside Sodom and Gomorrah. You should really pay attention to the difference of their life trajectory from when Lot was living with Abraham to when he went and lived in Sodom. Totally changed the fruit of his whole future, right? Chelsea and I, our model that we try to adapt is to live outside of, but nearish-ish cities, okay? It's being set apart, right? We'd rather be tent dwellers than in the palace. Do you know what I mean? Solomon had some struggle buses that he had to encounter because he grew up in the palace that David didn't have to encounter because he was literally wrestling lions with his teeth and hands. But Abraham lived outside of the city. Didn't mean that he would, it does mean we know for certain that he would sometimes go in and interact and engage with the population. People there thought he was a prince, like an actual prince, but then he was removed. So you should do likewise if you can to the best of your ability. Some of you guys already planted firmly in cities, which makes you strategically located to do good. Now, we would like to open up the Linen Railroad to many of you guys to see just kind of how this functions. Basically, we find linen for super cheap prices, like nearly nothing. We encourage you guys to try to find linen at thrift stores and or even Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, Etsy, ThredUp,
Macari,
Poshmark.
These are all used online
Garments, resellers.
Yeah, reseller outlets for you to find.
So you can tap into any of those resources, okay? Our goal with the Linen Railroad is not to profiteer off of this, okay?
No.
There's people who rifle through these thrift stores, and they're there to buy stuff for cheap, and then they go and sell it, upsell it.
And
okay?
I get it. It's a good hustle.
It could be a great hustle.
It could be a great hustle, but that's not what we're doing.
Chelsea and I, and the focus of all of our ministry and our life pursuit is to freely the Father gave us this stuff. Freely. He opened our eyes. He removed scales from our eyes so we could see this stuff. None of this could have happened if he didn't give it to us.
That's right.
So he gave it freely to us. And so our purpose is to freely give it away to others. And so we ask people, if you guys want to be participants on the Linen Railroad, more than just a destination for some of the linen to get to, we ask that you would try to the best of your ability to also do likewise, to freely give it away as much as you can. Now, people have charged people basically the cost of the garment and plus the shipping. Totally reasonable. We understand that. As for Chelsea and I, what we do with the linen or the clothes that we find, what we like to do is we do our best to wash them when we can, but it's not really always easy living in a rectangle, or if it's rainy or snowy. It's not always possible. But we do our best to filter through the ones that are cleaner, cleanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's really clean and it smells great,
because literally some of these
we'll send
guys
it.
come from the dry cleaners. And then it's going to you from the dry cleaners.
It's true.
But what we do, we clean it, we fold it up, and then Chelsea spends an inordinate amount of time taking pictures and posting these on the Linen Railroad, the buy, sell, trade, donate group. She posts them there, okay, which is lately turning into a frenzy, because you guys got to understand, there are hundreds of human beings who are suddenly realizing this and are all trying to get these few garments that are out there. And they're like, I'm in Michigan and I can't even see the sun anymore. Do you please send me linen? Please send me cashmere. And we would love to. We would love to do this in an endless amount, you guys. But we have two choke points that we run into. One is time, which is just the reality of our life. And that's something that we have to deal with.
And we're working with it.
One is that. The other choke point that we run into, you guys, is just the cost of getting garments to people. Now, we have been able to figure out that utilizing the post service, they have these basically, what are they called? What are those packages called?
Priority shipping.
Priority shipping.
Flat rate boxes.
Flat rate boxes.
Flat rate.
Flat rate shipping has been a tremendous help, because you can basically have anywhere from $8 to like $21, and it can go anywhere in the country.
It can be heavy too.
Super heavy, like loaded with heavy. Anyways, those have been tremendously helpful for us. But then sometimes we have to ship internationally, and there is no flat rate shipping for that, and it is outrageously expensive. But our mission and our focus is to, no matter what, we will give it away to people. We do not, under any circumstances, want to charge people for shipping or for the garments. That is our mission, is to completely give every aspect of the Linen Railroad away to people. And the Father has faithfully helped Chelsea and I to be able to do that. And so many of you out there know who you are, who have helped to donate towards our ministry to allow us the ability to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, because without that, we couldn't do this in any capacity. So thank you guys for doing that.
You're helping to clothe people. It's so beautiful.
A lot of you guys have offered, like, I'll pay for shipping and I'll pay for the garments, and we tell you no. We tell you guys no, because we don't want to charge anybody for that. However, if you guys want to be able to contribute to the Linen Railroad, to somebody else's garments getting to them, or to somebody else actually getting a package from the Linen Railroad, just go to our PayPal and you can donate there. Whatever you feel like the Father's leading you to. And if not, please just receive it as a gift, because that's what it is. The Father gave it freely to you.
He loves you, and he wants to clothe you, his bride, in this beautiful linen and this beautiful wool, his super fibers that he created for us to wear. So good. And he wants you to have it. It is free, and it's from him. So enjoy it.
And we want you guys to do similarly out there. Some of you guys are in areas where you can find linen, where you can find cashmere, where you can find merino wool. Some of you guys have that.
And some of you have that knack too. Like, you guys can hunt it with your eyes closed. You can, or you can hunt
the feelers out there.
You can just spot it. Like, I'm getting good, you guys. Like, I can just even see it in a bit. I'm like, "Ooh, that's linen. I gotta go grab that." And I'll go to the other side and I'll be like, woo! Yes! Feels so good when you could just spot it. But yeah, we're getting good, you guys. And there's a lot of you Linenites out there who have been hunting it, and you're getting a knack for it, and you're getting good at it, you guys. It is a skill that you hone, and it can be used to help benefit the body, guys. So if you are good at hunting linen and you're feeling called to be part of the Linen Railroad in a bigger capacity, and you want to partner with us and be a stop or a station on the way, that would be great. And basically, you guys, we're linen distributors. We're distributors, basically, of these amazing garments.
Do you want to become part of the Linen Railroad?
Come on, you know you do.
You know you do.
Come on, we need more of you.
Some of you guys, you just need to receive it. And that's going to be hard enough for some of you. But we think you're worth it because the Father thinks you're worth it. You're marvelous. Now, Chelsea's just going to go over some of the more, I don't know, basic things about it. If you guys want to become part of the Linen Railroad and you would like to be able to go hunt it, find it, and share it with other people, please consider trying to do that to the best of your ability.
And you can
For
do
free.
that on our buy, trade, sell, donate page, you guys. That's what it's there for. It's there for you Linenites out there who are getting good at hunting it, and you're finding little honey holes all over this country. You're finding these amazing Goodwills that there's just seems to be this endless supply of linen. Or maybe you're at a Goodwill up north and you're just like, man, I'm not finding linen, but I'm finding the cashmere. I'm flowing in the cashmere. Like, that would be awesome for you to help distribute some of that out to the remnant, you guys, because I mean, there's a lot of people that are naked and need clothing. And if we're the only ones that are, and I know we're not the only ones, there have been several on that page who are really putting a lot of stuff out there, and we really appreciate you guys hunting it and saying, oh, I found so much stuff today, it's not gonna fit me, but it'll fit someone out there, and you guys are posting it, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking your time and your money and the effort to try to hunt those garments for other people. It's awesome. And I just want to say this too, the buy, trade, sell group, it's also there so that you can make your needs known. If you have very specific needs, you guys, we are not able to meet those needs unless we know that you have a need. So if you guys can just make those needs known, and if you don't feel comfortable making it known on the public page, you guys are always feel free to private message us through Facebook. And we'd be glad to see if there's a way that we can meet a specific need for a specific size or a specific garment that you're hunting. We'll try our best because we always have new things coming in. We hunt frequently as we can, and there's always new things coming in all the time.
And as long as it takes us to just get it out, that takes a long time sometimes.
Yep.
So,
all right, you guys, I do want to talk about shipping really quick. So, as Nathan had mentioned, we'd use the flat rate through the United States Postal Service. You guys may have seen this kind of priority mail flat rate stuff. We use these bags, these padded bags, and I have found that this is the most cost-effective way to ship. I can ship all over the United States. It doesn't matter where it goes. It doesn't matter how heavy the package is. It doesn't matter how full the package is. As long as I can get this lid sealed down and closed on it, this will, I think the shipping on this is $8 and, is it $8.44 or $8.04? I think it's $8.40 is the total shipping on this bag. And just to show you guys for perspective, I can get, like, this is 3 garments in here. This is a shirt, a dress, and a pair of shorts, okay? So I can roll them up tightly, and this isn't even as tight as I could roll them.
tell me record.
I might be able to squeeze another one in here, you guys. I'm getting really good at this.
Saw it today.
Okay, but that's really, they've got to be really thin garments. But anyway, I would say on average, definitely, 2 to 3 garments is awesome. I might be able to squeeze a 4th in there, and if it's an absolute miracle, maybe a 5th, but that's not the norm. So I would say, 3 garments. If I can squeeze at least 3 garments in there, 2 or 3 garments in there, that's awesome. It's better than just shipping you guys this, spending the $8.40 to ship it, but then not having, only sending you 1 garment. When we have so many garments here, I just can't get them listed fast enough a lot of times. It takes a while to list them, take pictures, and like Nate said, it's really kind of a time thing sometimes for me to get this stuff up there. But I just want to let you guys know that we're doing the best we can, and something that helps me, I just want to give you guys some tips and some ways that you guys could help me most effectively through the Facebook platform for our Buy, Trade, Sell, Donate page. It's easiest if you don't comment on the garments, if you would just private message me directly. That's the most effective way for me, instead of having to go to the page and then go scroll through all the feed. And because other people, while I'm posting garments, might be jumping in there posting garments too, and that's awesome. But then I'm going to have to go all the way back and try to find the garment and then look at the comment and then drag the whole conversation back over to private messenger. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So I try to just cut to the chase and just say it in my ad. I'll say, please private message me if interested. So don't even bother with the comments, guys. I don't read them. Just go directly to private messenger. If you're having trouble, I have had a few people say they had trouble private messaging us, and so then they left a comment. And in that case, that's great. I'll check it if I can. But yeah, private message is definitely the easiest way for me. And then also, if I post multiple garments, it helps me to just be able to post them all bam, 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 one right after another in an evening, you know? And so that's how I'll do it, kind of rapid fire style. But if you see something like, oh my gosh, that shirt would fit my husband, and those shorts would fit me, and oh, that would fit my son. Like if you see 2 or 3 different things, it's okay for you to message me that and say, hey, I saw these 3 garments that I liked. Are they still available? Because if they are, I am glad to bundle, you guys. I love bundling. I love sets. That's how I try to post the garments when I post them. I'll try to post them like a set that I think go good together or are similar sizes, would fit a person similarly, because even though this is an extra large and this is a large, this one's a little small and this one's a little big, so they would fit the same roughly. I'll try to do sets like that. So there's a reason I bundle things together. And it's okay if you don't want both things. I mean, I'll just repost a garment if you don't want it. So that's okay too. It's okay to kind of pick and choose. But if I can bundle and we can send multiple garments in a package, that is just, in my opinion, the best, most cost-effective way to do this LinenRailroad, and it's a win for you guys and it's a win for us too as far as shipping goes.
What about addresses?
Oh, addresses, yeah.
Choke point.
Oh, you guys.
Number 3.
Oh, help me out, guys. Okay, so I have a couple things too. When I take it over to private messenger, you guys, the conversation, okay, it's in private messenger. If you guys say, hey, I'm interested in this garment, is it still available? And I say, yes, it's yours. The first thing I'll say is, what is a good address I can send it to? Out of courtesy for others, if you don't respond in a timely manner to me, as far as getting back to me for an address or something, or getting back with communication that, okay, we're on the same page, we're gonna send this garment, I will move on to the next person, you guys. So if you can just, when you're looking for a LinenRailroad item to bid on or contact me on, if you can contact me and then just kind of try to stay up on your messenger that next, 12 to 24 hours after you contact me to see if I'm gonna send the garment to you. And if you could just get me the address in a timely manner, that would really, really be helpful. And then I won't have to move on to the next person. Also, when you're giving me your address, it's really, really, really important, you guys, in order for you to receive the garments that we're sending, that you make sure that you go through and you say, my name is spelled correctly. My address is spelled, all the numbers are correct. Everything's spelled correctly. Because if something is off, you guys, I will take these packages to the mailbox and I don't know if your address is right or not. And they'll say, is this a good address? And I'll be like, oh no. Because if they can't find it quickly, I mean, their system is dialed in. If they can't find it quickly, something's a little funky. So usually that makes me nervous because I don't know if it's going to get to you guys or not. So if you could just triple check before you send me your address, that would be super helpful.
Let us know if you're a seamstress, would you?
Even beginner.
I don't care what kind of level of experience in your seamstressianness that you're a part of, but please let us know, because sometimes we have garments that are just shredded. Not all the way. I'm just going to say that because in my mind they're shredded. In it,
or they've got a seam came a little bit loose and there's a hole, or there's a button missing or several buttons
or
missing,
they've torn
or there's a zipper that it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still beautiful linen and it's still a beautiful garment and it still needs a home. And we would be glad to send it to you if you're willing to put a little sweat equity into it.
Turn it into something marvelous.
Oh, definitely.
Because Linenites are transformers, not Metaskits Matsutoi.
Yeah.
Go watch my last video if
And
you don't know
one
about
thing
that.
too, you guys, we have kind of shied away from, unfortunately, picking up any blazers. It's a nightmare.
It's rough. It's rough. There's a lot of linen suit jackets, guys, out there. Like legitimately men's suit jackets.
And women's. There's so many.
There's actually a lot more of those than tends to be a lot of other things. And they're no joke thicker and warmer. The problem is they sew in all of those imposters. You ever read 2 Peter? Dadgummit. Those kinds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those kinds. Go watch Linenite collars or linen collars and imposters video. Anyways,
They
they
put
put this
artificial
backing.
iron-on backing.
Made of literal rat poison.
Ugh.
So then you put it on your
It
flesh and
takes
just murders you.
Ever to get
Mm-hmm.
off. If you're trying to take out the inner polyester liner, you take that off only to reveal that you have this whole
Nightmare
fabric
inside it.
backing that you need to take off. And it's just too much work, you guys. It's
Some of you have a need for a tedious task for a toddler. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe train them to be good linenites to scrape the fabric. I don't know. But we're telling you that because if you guys really want it, we could maybe get back into the old blazer game. I love it.
Yeah.
Others don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's rough.
Anyways, those are, let's see.
But yeah, if you sew at all, and you're reaching out because you want a garment, let me know that you also sew, and I might be able to have. I might be,
Bundle
able to
it up.
send you something else with a garment that you're wanting, and then also a garment that you could have fun.
Maybe we'll give you something out of our scrap
repurposing.
bag.
Yeah, repurposing.
Make some linen bandages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to tell you guys too, don't be discouraged if you contact me for a garment and I say, I'm sorry, it's already been donated. Or even if you contacted me 5 times for a garment and they're all been donated. Eventually, I will get to you guys, I promise. And I really...
Let's just say something about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's also a lot of other people who have already been a destination for the Linen Railroad. Hang in there. I know you guys want more.
I know you need it.
We understand that
We
you need it, or
know.
you have another friend or other people that now want it. We got to go through the other people first before we can get to you. Does that make sense? Like, we can't get more linen to people who have already gotten a linen package from us when we have hundreds of other people who have none.
Yeah.
Like, if you got
They don't
one
even have
piece,
one
they don't have
piece.
any.
Yeah.
They don't have any, and some of these people are in countries or in cities or in counties or states that are so locked down that they cannot go anywhere to go get this stuff. And so those people, full disclosure, are way up on our priority list because we want to make sure that those who have no ability to go find it for themselves can be taken care of because they are at a disability and we want to take care of them first. And so we're not saying that to dig on anybody out there, but we are trying to give you a
if I sent
perspective.
you one garment, I'll never send you a garment ever
We
again.
would love to get back
until
to
it's
that.
cycled through all the people. That's not necessarily the case, but we definitely want to try to spread the wealth out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like share the love, like share the linen. There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah. So pray for the Linen Railroad and pray that the Father would help to empower us to be able to do this.
And
if-
to bring more people
bring more people
forward
to
who
it.
want to volunteer and help be a destination on the Linen Railroad, because we can't do this all, you guys. We can't do this by ourselves. We need more of you out there who are willing to do this.
And that's why the Father has some of you guys placed where you are, is so that you yourselves can go be a part of this and go do that.
Because you're at an outlet and it's flowing in linen constantly, and you're like, well, I've got my wardrobe set, and it's just constant linen, constant linen, constant linen. Like, really
is
seek
how the
the
ocean
Father.
is.
Really seek the Father and ask Him, what does He want you to do with all that linen? He'll let you know.
It's real, you guys. I have driven thousands of miles along the coastlines, and there's nothing of note for large swaths of it. You can go in that water and look around. You can walk that beach, and there's nothing good. There's just petroleum slicks, and you're like, wow, what happened down here? That's where all our garments should go. You know what I mean? That's where they came from. That's what polyester is, you guys. Petroleum on your skin. Anyways, I've looked so many places for treasures, so many places, but then there's one spot that's just drowning in goodness, that's got so much treasure coming out of it that it vomits it onto the shore all day.
What do you call them?
honey holes.
Or pockets, like these
Oh.
little shell pockets.
It's literally like you can walk along a beach and there'll be nothing for miles. And then there's just a cluster of shells like that the sea just vomited up right there. And if you go into the water there with snorkel.
My goodness, look at it, it's all connected still.
Oh my gosh!
Yes!
Oh!
Look at that. Just amazing. Get snorkels and masks. Get in the water. Go 10 feet into the water. Oh, it's as big as my head. Just think about that. These shells are waiting for you. Go out and explore. You can find treasure anywhere. Just pray and ask the God of creation to hand it to you. And he will. He loves you enough to give you good creatures and good gifts. Yes! Ah, Naomi!
And goggles. If you go in and look with your eyes, you will just see a treasure chest right out in the water that nobody else can see unless they have new lenses to look at it with. That's what having the Father take these scales of Babylon off our eyes will give you. It'll give you the opportunity to see his treasures hiding all around you. The greatest treasure hunt you can ever get into in your life is right here. The most disregarded book in the history of mankind is right here. But if we regard it, he will open up the treasure chest to you. And to some of you, that means you need to learn how to receive. You just need to learn how to receive good gifts. And to others of you, you must be a giver. And you must dispense like Joseph did. That he will entrust to you the treasure chest. And your job is to scoop up in there and give that grain to the people and give them life. And to take the linen garments and to send them out. Joseph was clothed in linen, by the way. That being said, we want you guys to enjoy the wonders of the Linen Railroad with us because you guys are marvelous human beings. More importantly, though, you are children of the Most High, and we love you tremendously, and we want to see you walk in the set-apart spirit of our Father, that you would be as he was, and that you would truly clothe the naked, so that on that great day, like it says in Matthew 24, we would say to him, we did see the naked, and we clothed them. We fed the hungry. And we looked after those who are afflicted and in prison. That's our desires. That's what we're trying to do with all of these different pieces that we're starting to reveal to you guys of what our ministry is all about. The Linen Railroad is a huge piece of that. The Millenites is another huge piece of that. And we still have more pieces that we haven't shared with you guys yet that the Father's beginning to continue to reveal to us. And we look forward to sharing those more with you in the future. So if you have any other questions about this, feel free to comment and bombard us tremendously. We'll do our best to get back to you as time permits. So become a destination station on the Linen Railroad. Live dangerously.
Yes.
Because, you know, the days are evil. But you were born for such a time as this. We'll talk to you soon.